All right, you know what? We're going to talk about this. Captain Marvel, Rotten Tomatoes, review bomb results in MCU record low. Now, normally I was planning on just skipping all the Captain Marvel bullshit and waiting for Endgame and then pretending like this never happened and moving on with my life. However, I've been noticing some bickering in the community here, like our map fan community, and I feel like there's a lot of people that are being misinformed by some of these articles. This, for example, this is a complete and utter lie. This is complete bullshit. And if you read a lot of the other articles, you type in Captain Marvel Rotten Tomato review, there's so many articles that have the lie in the headline, and then in the fine print they clarify what they mean. Now, let me tell you right now, you can't review bomb anything on Rotten Tomatoes that has to do with Captain Marvel. You know why? It's not out yet. You can't review bomb it. What they're talking about is on Rotten Tomatoes, you can do a poll whether or not you're interested in seeing the movie. That's it. There's no review bomb. And on top of that, it's a splinter of the fan base that's actually active. Same thing with The Walking Dead. On this channel, we have a lot of Walking Dead fans. We are a splinter in the community, the whole community as a whole, and I'm talking about everyone who watches The Walking Dead. At its prime, 17 million people watching, right? I think it was around 17 million at its prime, and I would get videos that hit about 1 million views. We're talking at the most, 1 million, 1.5 million at most. Now, maybe a few people watched that video twice, but it's likely those were, let's say, 800,000, even 800,000 individual fans. Even looking at the numbers between 800,000 and 17 million, we are still just a tiny, tiny fraction of the active online fan base. Same principle with the MCU, same thing going on here. We are such a small splinter of the actual fan base that's going to go and watch this thing. Millions and millions of people are going to go and watch this. It's going to do good no matter what. And if there are people trolling, leaving fake reviews, bro, you're just wasting your life. Yes, Brie Larson, and this is coming from someone who actually liked Brie Larson before this casting, and when they casted it, I was like, oh shit, I watched Free Fire a while back, and I really liked her in that. I actually still like Free Fire. I'm not going to hate it because she said some dumb shit, and yes, she did say some stupid shit. There's a lot of things I think people have taken and run with, and they over exaggerate, but she definitely has some issues that need to be worked out, especially when it comes between her and white males. Apparently she's got an issue there. I don't think it's full aboard hate train, but she definitely has some reservations there. Even looking into her history, she doesn't have a lot of nice things to say about her father. I even think she is part French, isn't she? Her real last name is like really weird, hard to pronounce. Let me put you there. Let's get to the article. Anyway, jumping into the article here, the onslaught of negative Rotten Tomato reviews. Captain Marvel has seen the film plunge to the lowest rating. I fucked that sentence up. It doesn't matter. That sentence isn't important. Nearly 2 weeks ahead of its release, Captain Marvel currently has a 45% audience rating on Rotten Tomatoes. 45% audience rating. This shit hole of a website actually took almost verbatim the same article that was done by a completely different website the other day. Where is it? Alternative Press, I think. Which one is the CB? Captain, February 22nd. It's hard to tell because you'll notice a lot of them just copied the same article. I bet you any money this CBR.com copied the shit out of someone else's article and they missed this part. 45% audience rating. Why am I repeating that over and over again? Because if you click on Rotten Tomatoes, where's the audience rating? I see the audience rating here for these movies that are actually out, but there's no tomato meter. The percentage of approved tomato meter critics who have given this movie a positive review. Well, where's the fan ratings? Oh, that's not it. So what are they talking about? There's no audience ratings But you guys already know this, right? Or at least a lot of you already know this. But look, listen to what they say next. This is way below the next lowest MCU flick. 2008's The Incredible Hulk, which has a rating of 70%. Let's click on Hulk. Oh shit, it does! Audience score. The percentage of users who have rated this movie 3.5 stars or higher. Audience score is 70%. They're right about that. But let's go back to Captain Marvel. What's Captain Marvel? I have it twice for some reason. What's Captain Marvel? 28. There's no 45. It's actually 28. But that's not a rating. That's not a rating. It's not a review. It's a poll if you want to see it. You can even click on right here. The percentage of users who want to see this movie. So this article is so full of shit. It's absolutely disgusting. Do you see how they take reality and they twist the shit out of it to make it sound like it's something else? It's not being review bombed. That's an absolute lie. It's not at a 45% audience rating. That's an absolute lie. There's no audience rating. There's a poll whether or not fans want to see it. That's different, and it's incredibly low at 28%. And again, that's only a tiny sliver of the fan base who's active online. Now, it does go on to say, however, this more than likely won't deter fans, and I believe it's not going to mess with fans going to see it anyway. I think fans will go out and watch it if they're interested, but they do say Larson has continued to stand up for diversity, inclusion, and feminism as she promotes Captain Marvel, even speaking out for blah, 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 blah. Her outspoken stance has triggered these haters, but Marvel's parent company, Disney, shouldn't be too worried. I don't think they should be worried either, but there's a lot of talk about triggering haters, about racists, review bombing it. Well, let's actually click. Oh yeah, this article here talks about as Disney and Marvel gears up for the March 8 release, the first female-led yada yada yada. Trolls are bombing Captain Marvel's Rotten Tomatoes entry with negative reviews intended to sabotage his audience. Again, we're getting this bullshit lie narrative that they're review bombing. And even if you go to our own Map Family, Map, what are we doing, Map Family? Even if you go to our own Map Family, most of you guys are talking about the reviews. And I get what you're doing. You're looking at the heading and you're like, oh man, these fucking white people, what are they doing, you know? I mean that joking around. But yeah, there's a few people asking about the, this Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, there's no one who I don't trust reviews. See what I mean? It's just focused on the reviews, which is not the case. You're being lied to. Matter of fact, if you click, get rid of that ad. If you click on who is going to see the movie, this is what they're talking about. I've only read the first page, and there's not one person who says anything about race, Brie Larson, or white males, or none of that. This person didn't like the trailer. I'll admit, I didn't like it either. The train fight scene, my face is too big. The train fight scene looked bad. It looked terrible. That's what this guy said. I think it's going to be really filler to the Avengers. Not interested, not my cup of tea. The trailer and content, usually really excited. Hope it turns out good. Wait, the trailer and content isn't really exciting. Okay, there's a little typo there. Not interested in seeing this film. Looks boring and predictable. Man, looks super boring. Probably going to pass on this one. Where's all these racist review bombs? I don't fight wars. I end them. How do you end a war without fighting it? This line says it all. No, thank you. Anthony, that's one thing I did cringe at too, buddy. Even the way she said it, she's like, I'm not going to fight your war. I'm going to end it. It was a real cringe master, yo. None of these trailers have looked interesting. Okay, someone else who doesn't care about trailers. Waiting for Shazam, Avengers Endgame. I'll wait for DVD. What else we got? She delivers those lines like a D-list actress, and this is coming from a person who liked Brie Larson or liked her previously before this. I agree completely. Their first trailer, what? And then even when fans came out and they were like, she doesn't have any expression. Even a superhero, there's just something more oomph to it when you see them gritting their teeth and they're doing like a punch or a throw, or she's just kind of like flying around, and I get it if she's all powerful, but I mean something visually, and it helps. And that's for guys and girls, it doesn't matter, man. It helps with it. If you just see the Hulk or Superman just kind of stand still and go like this, people are going to be like, whatever. But if he's gritting his teeth so hard you're afraid his teeth are going to shatter, it just feels like there's more oomph to the scene, you know? I wait for Endgame, as this movie isn't made for me. Finally, we found a white male mad about what she said. As this movie isn't made for me, Brie wouldn't like me to see this movie. Such a shame. Love Marvel movies, but I'm going to pass on this one with the SJW political bullshit. And I do agree. I think they should promote movies as movies and step away from all this political BS as well. Being honest, I watched the trailers and I'm not hyped. We're going to have to keep skimming some of these. Wonder Woman was great. Where's the Black Widow movie? Looking like it's going to suck. Not interested. I'll go watch Alita again. A lot of praise for Alita, by the way. I'm really trying to find time to go and watch Alita. No thanks. I'll go for Alita. Saving my money for the real Captain America. Shazam. Captain Marvel. Sorry. I messed that up. The nerds are going to crucify me. I'm a white male. SJWs don't want my money. Here's another white person who's mad. I'm not going to see Captain Marvel or Spider-Man. Wait. I am not going to see Captain Marvel or Avengers 4 or the next Spider-Man, as a matter of fact, as I have truly reached comic book movie fatigue. Hollywood, please give me something new and fresh. See what I mean? They're taking this legitimate, it's not legitimate opinion of whether they're going to watch this or not. And this person is simply saying, bro, I'm fatigued out. He's getting lumped into the haters. You're just a hater, bro. Well, this old white guy won't be seeing it. All right, so we have about 4 or 5. I know that's about 4 or 5, right? White people that, and you could do this forever. I mean, I'm sure you're going to find a bunch that are not happy with it. But where are the absolute trolls or the ridiculousness? Trailers were bad. Movie looks so boring. Trailers didn't catch my eye. And these are February 20th. Did we already cover the ones? How does this work? February 20th. February 22nd. February 22nd. So this is as recent as you get. This is just a few days ago. February 24th, 23rd. All right, so this is such a hot button issue. It's on fire. Today we had one person today put a comment. On the 24th yesterday, again, they are getting review bombed. One person today. Review bombed. And then the 24th we had 5 people on the 24th. Now, I noticed a lot of these people have comments. Maybe these are people who, or they only put people up here who do comments. I did see one person who didn't write anything. Where was that one guy? So if that's the case, that would really help settle this. Because if they don't put anyone up here who doesn't leave a comment, then okay, yeah. But I could have sworn that one guy we rolled through didn't leave a comment. And where was it? I'm pretty sure there was one guy who didn't have a comment. He was like holding a puppy, wasn't he? I don't know. I lost it. It doesn't matter. Maybe that's the case where if you don't leave a comment, your name isn't going to be up here. If that's the case, then it gets a little trickier to try to figure out how many they're getting and, determine who's trolling or not or who's legitimate. And because keep in mind, I do believe there are people who are legitimately being dicks about this and going out of their way to make it seem like it's extra, And we can have conversations on this channel, and I'm open for it with what she said and your thoughts and opinions. You guys know me, and I think maybe this would be a breath of fresh air on the internet because I can't stand you SJWs. Equally, I can't stand you anti-SJWs. With both sides, both extremes, everything is wrong and sexist to SJWs. And then on the flip side, everything is SJW propaganda. You know what I'm saying? Everything's a friggin' agenda. You can't catch a break. Like, I remember back when Michonne, speaking of The Walking Dead, we love The Walking Dead. Michonne enters the story in The Walking Dead, and people are like, whoop, whoop, you know? Now we got some chick that actually did something that was brave. And it's up, we got tough bitches in the show. It must be girl power SJW. That's what we have. That's what our community who loves the entertainment industry, and we love fandoms, we've turned into one side or the other, but to such an extreme, we're all trigger happy with loaded guns to point out what is something that's wrong, or an agenda, or an attack, and it's just madness. I'm sure there's people out there going, yeah, we need to do this, this, and this. And like, even with the comic book, and I don't agree with it, but Robert Kirkman, who wrote The Walking Dead, he got a letter and said, why don't you have any lesbian couples in The Walking Dead? And he said, you're right, I don't. And then he turned around and just took two characters he had in the comic and made them gay. In like the next issue, they were like sucking face, which if they were sucking face from the beginning, it wouldn't matter. But it's a simple fact that somebody could write in and go, oh, you don't have somebody with a weird looking, what's that, someone in my family has that, they have a skin thing, eczema, right? They break out and all that. Like Kirkman, you have no one in the zombie apocalypse with eczema. Why not? Like, show representation for that, okay? Put that in. And I know I'm being silly and ridiculous with that, but if we just hound creators and say, you don't have this, and then they just say, yeah, this character is now gay as shit, you know? It shouldn't work like that. It should be organic within the story. And if you are a creator and you're like, you know what? And this, I don't think there's anything wrong with this. You're looking at something, and I try to pay attention to it in my comic, obviously because we're dealing with an area that is diverse. So it would be silly as shit to see one of the city streets in my story, Doomsday Kingdom, for those not interested, a little plug here, Doomsday Kingdom, the feeding post. It would be stupid as shit to look and be like, oh my god, every single person in this city is white. This whole shot right here, that's silly as shit. That would be dumb because it's a very diverse city that takes place. Like, look at this, we got a hospital right there. Ain't that badass? You guys probably can't see that, but it's fine to look for things that make the storytelling authentic. Like, I purposefully look and say, okay, you know, is there diversity there? Because that's what is there, or supposed to be there. We model this after a real life place, though, so there is that level of diversity, but we keep it real. You'll look at that and you'll see a majority of white people, but there is still diverse because it's like a melting pot of a bunch of different cultures, from Indian to African American to Chinese, Vietnamese. That is all real that I'm pulling from. So it makes sense that you as an art, or you as a creator, would pay attention to incorporating Spanish. There's a lot of Mexican, Cuban, Dominican. There's a lot of these people, and again, this is from neighborhoods that I'm from, that I know people with those backgrounds in there, so we're trying to showcase that. I think that's fine, but somebody coming up to me and going, hey, Ronnie, you know, you need a gay chick with an afro. It has to be an afro. She's got to have one eye that's green, one eye that's blue, and her nose is a little bit like a pig nose. Really skinny lips, though, and a bulging ass, because that's what, you know, my friend looks like. And it's like, oh, now we're getting a little silly here. Anyway, I got off the reservation at the end, but you can put your thoughts and opinions down in that comment box. Don't fall for these BS articles. Even if you find an article that seems like it's biased, leaning one way, just don't support them. Keep in mind, CBR.com, from this point forward, they've lost all my respect, and I don't want to see anything from them because I feel like they're just going to continue this trend to manipulate what is real and feed you a bunch of bullshit because they want you to, they just want to manipulate you. Whether you believe it or like it or not, do you really want articles to try to manipulate you by twisting some of the facts, or do you just want the news? Plain and simple. I just want the news. I don't want an article or a company to try to manipulate how I feel or think about something. Mostly because you might really take this serious and then look like a damn fool when someone points out they're not review bombs. It's just a poll whether or not people want to see the movie. You dumbass. So, thoughts and opinions down in that comment box. CBR.com. You should be ashamed of yourself. You're an embarrassment to entertainment media. Peace.